Welcome to News9 Mediaverse, and you are watching this special edition of The Mandate. And in this edition, we will talk about Rajasthan because Rajasthan has voted. The state, whether it's going to buck the trend, follow the trend, make a new history, that will come to know only on the 3rd of December. But before that, we can definitely have a look at the data, analytics, we'll talk to subject matter experts, analyze campaign, slogans, and what mattered most in the Rajasthan election and what is making this Rajasthan election very, very different. So let me take you through some data before I introduce you to my panel, my friends in the studio. So the larger issue is, and the talk is, will Rajasthan buck the trend? Is it going to go to Himachal Pradesh or what? Whether Sachin Pilot versus Ashok Gehlot is going to impact the fortunes of the Congress party. Is that going to happen? Whether Vasundhara Raje's, the so-called silent spat with Delhi's BJP affect the dynamics there. And I'm using the word the silent spat. BJP did a heavy duty campaign. Congress understands that. Is it going to change the fortune? Is it? Does it make a difference? After Karnataka, what happened to Rahul Gandhi? A very low profile campaign. Didn't veer off the script. He kept within the defined script of the Congress party. That was one part of the campaign. And what's the X factor? And for this we'll have subject matter experts. What's the X factor? What are we talking about? Is it going to be Ashok Gehlot's scheme versus Prime Minister Modi's appeal? His number of schemes, half Labharti, half necessary, half mandatory, half well thought of, versus Prime Minister's appeal. Is paper leak and unemployment an issue? Is it an issue? Or is something just journalists talk about because it makes a good copy? Is women's safety an issue when people vote? Does it really become an issue? We'll talk about it. Is communal violence an issue? Or communal violence becomes an issue for the vote? We will talk about it. Now, let's go to the second part of our data. These are the talking points. Now, if you look at 2013 and 2018, others are there. 2018, 21 others, 2013, 13 others. BSP is also there, 60, not important. BJP and Congress, when they made the government, the most striking aspect is, when BJP made the government in 2003, it had 163 seats. When Congress makes the government, it gets 100 seats. It's a majority of 100 in a house of 200. When BJP loses power, it gets 73 seats. When Congress is losing power, it is getting 21 seats. And I think this is largely reflective of Congress and various legislative assemblies. When it loses badly. And when it makes a government, it's not turning out to be a total sweep. That is why people say, Chhattisgarh apvaad tha. But one has to wait and see whether that exception continues or not. Now, this is the vote share data. Now, let me start with 2013. In 2013, BSP got 3%, 18 they got 4%. So, that's not really important. Now, if you look at the BJP's vote share, BJP in 2013 got 45.17%. In 2018, it got 38.77%. Congress in 2013 got 33%. When it came to power, it got 39%. So look at the difference. It's substantive. But there is even one more thing. Now I recall it. But I thought of not putting it here because generally putting Lok Sabha data and assembly data doesn't turn out to be correct, but I would like my guests to reflect on it. When people voted for 2019 elections, boss, this went up to 50%. 50% of people in Rajasthan voted for BJP. So suddenly 38% in Lok Sabha became 50%. And this 39% came down in Lok Sabha. You can say that it's Pulwama, you can say that it's because of the so-called national position or sort of a different leher which was there, but there was a vote share swing. So when we talk about elections in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, they will come out with their beautiful local diversities. They will reflect that template. But Lok Sabha, it's a different ball game altogether. So on this note, let me tell you, what is the big question? So for me, the big question is, on which one issue the Rajasthan election has revolved around? And on this, I'll be joined by Gautam Mukherjee, a senior journalist, Dr. Tabina Anjum Qureshi, Sunny Sebastian, Rajesh Kasera, people who understand politics. In studio, I'm joined by our legal editor, Ashok Bagaria, but not because he's a legal editor, but because he's from Rajasthan, understands Rajasthan politics, and my input editor, Brijesh Pandey. So Brijesh, I'll start with you. What is one issue on which Rajasthan election has revolved around?
Well, I think, what the BJP would be actually looking forward is how much, whether there is a Karnataka repeat or not. Because, it looked like that the BJP didn't learn much from the Karnataka debacle, where it actually, under the tutelage of B.L. Santosh, went after the local leadership, which is B.S. Yedurappa, and tried to foment a new leadership replacing him. And the result was there for everyone to see. Now, the BJP had to oblige his even son. Same thing is in the state of Rajasthan. There's a late patch between some sort of a rapprochement between Vasundhara Raje and Amit Shah, the central BJP. How effective that is, I think, is going to the one which is going to decide and determine the quantum of victory in the state of Rajasthan. Because it was very puzzling for me as someone who has been following this politics and covering BJP for quite some time now. The spat with Vasundhara has never helped the BJP in the regional elections. There was a even joke. The botched attempt was
Ashok, there was a joke. I'm not going to say, it's not a press club joke, and I honestly tell you, it's not a press club joke, but it's a joke कि रायता दोनों तरफ फैला है, जो अच्छा पहले अपना रायता समेट लेगा वो राजस्थान जीत जाएगा. Is it correct?
Well, it's a little difficult to say that because both the parties, the Congress and Bharatiya Janata Party, have been ridden by internal fractionalism. In fact, Brijesh just pointed out the infighting within the Bharatiya Janata Party, whereby Vasundhara Raje has actually been cut out from the role of leading Bharatiya Janata Party in Rajasthan elections. Now, take a look at the Congress Party. What is the scene with the scenario within the Congress Party? Now, there are two tall leaders, Ashok Gehlot, who is the incumbent Chief Minister, and Sachin Pilot, who is an aspirant Chief Minister. So, here again, within the Congress Party, there is an issue. There is a little bit of divisiveness within the party. And in fact, the Congress Party has tried to put up a very brave front, whereby the incumbent Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot came together and released a video 2 days back where they exhorted the voters to vote for the Congress Party and not individual leaders.
Okay, now before I go to my guest, let me play out the bite of Sachin Pilot, Ashok Gehlot, Vasundhara Raje Scindia. All of them were turbocharged today.
एक कानून पार कर दिया, राइट टू हेल्थ, मैंने स्वास्थ्य का अधिकार दे दिया है. जैसे 4 कानून पास किए हैं पार्लियामेंट के अंदर यूपी गवर्नमेंट ने, वैसे हमने कानून पास कर दिया है राइट टू हेल्थ, चिरंजीवी योजना का 25 लाख का 50 लाख बीमा कर दिया. हम जानते हैं कि सबके काम 50 लाख और पढ़ते नहीं हैं, बस सिक्योरिटी मिल गई सबको. 50 लाख तक का इलाज कराना पड़ेगा. ये कैंसर में कई बीमारी ऐसी है 2.5-3 लाख खर्च प्रति माह, आराम हुए लोगों को. इतिहास बन गया राजस्थान के, इतिहास बन गया राजस्थान के अंदर.
मेरा तो आग्रह होगा सब वोटर्स से, स्पेशली नव मतदाताओं से, नव मतदाताओं से कि वो आए और अपना वोट अवश्य कास्ट करें. आज ये वोट उनके राष्ट्र के लिए, ये वोट हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी के लिए, और ये वोट आने वाले नेशन बिल्डिंग के हिसाब से बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट हो. हमारे पास भी फैमिली में फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर है, मुझे बड़ी खुशी है इसको. तो अच्छा हुआ ये बहुत दिल्ली से रात भर चल के आया है जस्ट टू कास्ट हिज वोट टुडे.
अधिक से अधिक संख्या में जाकर अपना वोट कास्ट करेंगे. मैं उम्मीद कर रहा हूं कि इस बार अच्छा निर्णय जनता लेगी और हम लोगों के काम को, हमारी परफॉर्मेंस को और पार्टी की जो सोच है उसको ध्यान में रखकर आकलन करने के बाद सही निर्णय जनता लेगी, ऐसा मैं मानता हूँ। मुझे लगता है कि इस बार जनता चाहती है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार दोबारा बने और जो भाजपा का अंदरूनी बिखराव रहा, जो उनकी परफॉर्मेंस रही पिछले 5 साल एज ऑपोजिशन, उसको भी लोग देख रहे हैं। और हम लोगों का जो देश भर में आज जो कार्यकर्ताओं में उत्साह बढ़ा है, जो नई ऊर्जा के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, हाल ही में हम लोगों ने सरकार बनाई है कर्नाटक में, हिमाचल में, उसका भी लाभ हम लोगों को मिलेगा। और पार्टी, हमारी सोच, हमारा जो आगे का विजन है प्रदेश के लिए 5 साल का, उसको लोग आंक रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने 5 साल यहाँ विपक्ष की भूमिका निभाने में नाकाम रहे हैं, इसलिए मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि भारी बहुमत के साथ हम लोग यहाँ सरकार बना पाएंगे। कि हम लोग तो मिलकर चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं, कोई भी एक व्यक्ति ना तो चुनाव लड़वा सकता है, ना चुनाव हारवा सकता है, ना जितवा सकता है। पूरा टीम एफर्ट होता है और हमारी पार्टी में हम लोग कलेक्टिव लीडरशिप में काम करते हैं। 2018 में भी यही हुआ था, हम मिलकर चुनाव लड़े और सरकार हम लोगों ने बनाई। हम मिलकर चुनाव इस बार लड़ रहे हैं और उस समय बहुत चुनौती थी, हम विपक्ष में थे, बहुत संघर्ष कर हम लोगों ने लोगों का विश्वास जीता। हम 21 विधायक रह गए थे 200 में से, 5 गुना हमारी सीट बढ़ी, हम सरकार बनाने में कामयाब रहे। इस बार हम सरकार में हैं, हमारे पास प्लेटफॉर्म था, हम डिलीवर कर पाए हैं, लोगों की संसाधनों से लोगों की मदद कर पाए हैं, तो इसलिए थोड़ा काम आसान है। और यहाँ पर जो 30 साल की परंपरा है, 5 साल बीजेपी 5 साल कांग्रेस, उसको लोग बदलना चाहते हैं। और प्रदेश के साथ देश में जो सरकार है उसको भी 10 साल से लोग देख रहे हैं, महंगाई बेरोजगारी सब लोग देख रहे हैं। इसलिए मुझे पूरा विश्वास है। और जो आप कह रहे हैं कि हम लोग चुनाव मिलकर लड़ रहे हैं, जो बिखराव है, जो खिंचाव है, जो तनाव है, वो भाजपा में है। हम लोग तो पहले भी एक थे, आज भी एक हैं और पार्टी को जरूरत आज है, पार्टी को जरूरत है हम स्टेट्स में चुनाव जीतें। स्टेट्स में हम चुनाव तब जीतेंगे जब हम मिलकर चुनाव लड़ेंगे और हम इसी दिशा में काम कर रहे हैं।
So one doesn't know whether it's going to be a tough call, close call, or it's going to be a sort of a sweep by one party. But one thing is sure, that Rajasthan can throw up surprise. Now a lot of people would say, no, well, people thought that Himachal Pradesh will also throw up surprise, but Himachal Pradesh didn't throw surprise. In fact, the nara was Paddhati badli jayegi, but the Paddhati didn't change, the Rajpat changed. So that's a literal translation. So let me go to Dr. Tabina Anjum Qureshi. Dr. Qureshi, do you think that Rajasthan can throw up a surprise this time, buck the trend?
Hi, well, fingers are crossed. See, I'm writing a book and I'm trying to, take the pulse of the people of Rajasthan for the last 15 years I've been here. This is my 3rd election I'm covering as a journalist. And this much I can assure you that, unlike the previous 2 elections where one was sure which way is the wind blowing, this time you're not sure. I mean, when you go to the field, you come with the field notes, you're confused and you just report. I mean, you're just being objective. So it's a jinx of 25 years. It's a tradition being here that people of Rajasthan vote out an incumbent government. They want change. This is what is happening from the last 25 years. So I think this is like what you said. I think Congress is also working hard on it, despite knowing that, anti-incumbency hoga. They are just trying their best, to repeat the government. Gehlot is eyeing at the 4th time. Congress wants to repeat the government. At the same time, BJP, the arch rival, they're leaving no stone unturned, and they're just banking on the anti-incumbency perception among the people. But it's still, it's to see. Today was the voting day and I'm told 58%, 60% was the last figures I received, and the maximum so far has been from Tejara. Tejara is a constituency, 68% in Alwar. Is the same constituency from where BJP had fielded its MP, Mahant Balaknath. So let's see, today is the voting day and maybe on December 3, all of us will get to know.
Okay, let me go across to Mr. Sebastian. Mr. Sebastian, am I audible to you?
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Yes. Sebastian, what is one issue you think the Rajasthan election revolved around?
See, I cannot pinpointedly say there was one issue. There were many issues as such. And also, of course, there was this, communal aspect also was there, development things were there, and also the leadership in both the parties more in the BJP, because first time I found BJP fighting elections without a local leader as the campaign head. So this is something different. Also, for the first time, one could see so many dissidents, so many rebels in the BJP, which is otherwise supposed to be a disciplined party. Of course, rebels in Congress are a common thing. Every time we find so many rebels. And of course, now almost both the parties have an equal number of rebels. And both BJP and Congress managed to make some of them withdraw, and again some of them retire later. But still there are many. And I won't be surprised to find so many independents and non-Congress, non-BJP party MLAs coming, coming to the Rajasthan Assembly this time. So Modi, and surprisingly, it used to be Modi versus Rahul in the past. So Congress made it Modi versus Ashok Gehlot, and it was, I think, working for Congress now. And maybe people have this feeling also. Modi and Shah tried their level best to destabilize Rajasthan government, Congress government in Rajasthan, and for the first time they failed. So there is an aura of strength, the powerful leadership in Ashok Gehlot. So people have that kind of
differ with you, if there is an aura of a survivor, Gautam, then it also tells you that this is a party which is full of faction. It's just that the coup did not work out, and there is no right or wrong in politics. I mean to say, it worked out in Madhya Pradesh, it fell flat on Rajasthan, but it also clearly laid open the fissures within the Congress party. They were visible even during Bharat Jodo Yatra. And in fact, they become even more evident during Bharat Jodo Yatra when Mr. Gehlot refused to become the president of the Congress party. I think he will be the only politician from the Congress who had actually done a rebellion not to become the president of the Congress party.
Yes, and gotten away with it. The question of fissures is, does it result in the candidates pulling their punches, i.e. not campaigning hard enough, not trying hard enough? The candidates themselves, of course, will, but their supporters. Now, if that happens on both sides of the fence, it is hard to see what the ultimate results will be. I'm not clear as yet what percentage of people voted. But in terms of the broad characteristics of this election in Rajasthan, I think the BJP is scoring with the communal activity, the communal violence that has taken place more and more in the latest term of Gehlot. And conversely, the Congress has certainly struck home with the people on the point of price rise, if not of unemployment. Maladministration is, I think, in common for both. In BJP's case, by not blocking Vasundhara Raje and her followers in terms of tickets, they're hedging their bets, because Vasundhara must have said to Amit Shah that, look, if you block me, you can't win. So you might as well make a fair go of it. Chief Minister be decided later, but you can't split the votes within some sure votes in favor of doubtful candidates and new people and so on. This, as you rightly pointed out, Kartikeya, failed in Karnataka, and BJP is not looking to repeat the process. But either way, this is going to be, I think, a close election in Rajasthan, closer than last time. And who will eventually emerge is as yet a little unclear. My own guess is because of corruption and lack of development of the state government in the last 5 years, and the stellar record that BJP has nationally in terms of development and in terms of pushing the Hindutva side of it, which will appeal to a large number of Rajasthanis who are indeed Hindu, that BJP will fit by and win.
Okay. Okay. But Brijesh, there are two things here. When we analyze elections in Madhya Pradesh, we realize that the elections were revolving around the Chief Minister, called Mamaji. The earlier election in Telangana revolved around the Chief Minister. Even the elections in Chhattisgarh revolved around Bhupesh Patel. Now, this time, do you think that the election revolved around Ashok Gehlot, or there were larger issues at play with which he had to deal with?
Well, I think, by and large, the election did revolve around Ashok Gehlot,
really?
Because he remains the tallest leader in Rajasthan. And, if you remember the botched up effort of Part B of what happened in the state of Madhya Pradesh, the reason why Sachin Pilot couldn't muster up enough numbers of MLAs was because Gehlot had a better grip, and also he was, aided, which is definitely denied by Vasundhara Raje camp. The first tip-off came from there. So, the fact of the matter is that in Rajasthan, the problem which the BJP is facing is that, as I said, it didn't learn a lesson from the state of Karnataka. Right now also they are propping up another Maharani Rajkumari Diya Singh, who could rival Vasundhara Raje. I honestly don't see it happening. Then you first went about, cutting tickets of Vasundhara Raje loyalists, and then, you go back to accommodate few of her loyalists. And I think, if it is a close fight, as, Gautam was also pointing out, I think it is going to be a big headache for the BJP because Vasundhara Raje for sure is not going to take it lying down. And I think, apart from Karnataka, or rather she has been the only person, from 2013 onwards who has taken on the central Delhi and has not buckled or ceded an inch, and she has been victorious.
Okay.
There have been attempts to dislodge her, but that has not succeeded at all.
Okay. Ashok, like Ladli Behna is a scheme which Bharatiya Janata Party is pretty much gung-ho about when it comes to Madhya Pradesh. Do you think there's any scheme on which you can say Ashok Gehlot has strength, he derives strength from, or do you think that there's any counter scheme which has been launched by Bharatiya Janata Party from the centre for people of Rajasthan as a promise, which they are pushing it to their advantage? Is there something like that which we see in Madhya Pradesh? Because the best example here is Ladli Behna.
Okay, now there are two parts to your question. The first part deals with, is there anything that the Rajasthan Congress is banking on in terms of scheme? So in fact, there are three schemes. One is the health insurance scheme, the state health insurance scheme. The second is the old pension scheme, which has been revived for the government employees, as well as reducing the cost of LPG cylinder to 450 rupees. Now, these are the three things that the Congress has constantly been harping on and saying that, look, this is what the Gehlot government has done for you. On the other hand, the Bharatiya Janata Party has been pushing the narrative on corruption and employment. In fact, Bharatiya Janata Party says that if they are voted to power, they'll provide employment to all the youth in the state. The second bit is the corruption, the large-scale corruption that has been happening in the Ashok Gehlot government, the paper leak things. It's problematic. People don't understand, in the sense that lakhs of youth in the state take exams, and it's suddenly 5 days or a month later it's discovered that there were paper leaks, and all their hopes of securing a government job comes crashing down. That's really frustrating and crushing emotionally and otherwise for the youth in the state. And in the sense, if the BJP is actually able to latch on to that emotion of the youth, then probably a large chunk of the young voters would possibly vote for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Mr. Kasera also joined me. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Kasera. What's your estimate? Do you think there is a wind of change in Rajasthan, or do you think that it's going to buck the trend, stay with the incumbent this time around? Your opening comments?
Yes, the voting percent is really is very good right now. More than 60% vote has been casted here, and till the end of the voting time, if the scenario will above 70%, there will be certainly a good sign for the retaining the BJP government again. Because if the people or voters cast their vote in large number of area, that's mean the people of Rajasthan want to change, and just they are showing their silent scenario in the form of vote casting. So that I think if the voting percentage will be rise, definitely there will be a simply sign we can see.
Before I go any further, let me play out bites of leaders who through the day spoke to the press, what they felt about, how confident they are of their own party and their prospects. Let's play them out.
भारत की राजनीति का सबसे भद्दा उदाहरण पिछले 5 साल राजस्थान के अंदर रहा। मतलब जितना मिला था उससे खुश नहीं थे, और ज्यादा चाहिए था। और उस स्वार्थ के कारण अपनी पार्टी को भी खड्डे में धकेला और राजस्थान को भी खड्डे में धकेला। ये हुआ है कांग्रेस के राज में। खैर, हमें उनकी पार्टी से कोई मतलब नहीं है, उनकी पार्टी से वैसे भी किसी को कोई उम्मीद ही नहीं है, ना दूरदृष्टि है, ना कोई संकल्प है। लेकिन हमारा सारी चिंता राजस्थान की जनता के लिए थी, जो 5 साल पिछड़ गई। और खास तौर से युवाओं के लिए 5 साल बहुत बड़े होते हैं, और देश जब आगे बढ़ता है तो उसमें राजस्थान पीछे कैसे रह सकता है। और बिना राजस्थान के देश का जो ताज है वो अगर भद्दा हो जाए तो फिर वो, इसीलिए मुझे लगता है प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का इस बार एक डायरेक्ट इन्वॉल्वमेंट राजस्थान के चुनावों के अंदर है कि राजस्थान को हर तरह से आगे लेकर आना है, पिछले 5 साल की भरपाई करनी है। कांग्रेस को 3 तारीख को पता चल जाएगा, हो सकता है कुछ को करंट भी लग जाए, लेकिन जो जन सैलाब है, जो जनता का जो भाव है, वो पूरी तरह भारतीय जनता पार्टी की तरफ है। मैं तो देखिए, आप भी क्षेत्र में थे, मैं खुद पिछले 50 दिन गांव-गांव गया। जिस तरह से महिलाओं का खास तौर से आशीर्वाद प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी पर, भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे, हमारे जो संकल्प है, हमारी जो विचारधारा है उसके लिए है, मैंने ऐसा आज तक नहीं देखा। और महिलाएं मुखर होकर बोलती हैं, मैं उसके लिए आपके माध्यम से मातृशक्ति को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। युवा शक्ति, मातृशक्ति बदलाव का बहुत बड़ा कारण राजस्थान में। देखिए, वो तो आपको कह चुके हैं ना कि ये पार्टी ऐसी है जिसमें पार्टी का कोई भी कार्यकर्ता, उसको छोटी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी मिल सकती है और खुशी से वो स्वीकार होती है। आपके सामने इतना शानदार उदाहरण है कि पूरा कैबिनेट हटाने के बाद प्रचंड जीत आती है। अब ये देखिए कि कांग्रेस ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं कर सकती, वो एक तरह से खुद ही बंदी बन गई है। कांग्रेस पार्टी खुद ही की बंदी बन गई है। अशोक गहलोत साहब ने कांग्रेस की लीडरशिप को बंदी बना लिया है, और जो एमएलएज हैं उन्होंने गहलोत साहब को बंदी बना लिया है। कोई किसी को नहीं हिला सकता, सब दृढ़ है अपने।
I have a question for you, and that is, in your opinion, why did the Bharatiya Janata Party had to deploy members of parliament for assembly election? Is it out of urgency, or was it out of desperation, good strategy, or shows that regional satraps had to be beefed up from the center? Why did that happen? Mr. Sebastian.
See, the very fact that they decided to field so many MPs, 7 plus 1 Rajya Sabha and 7 Lok Sabha, itself was an indication that party is feeling like rather desperate. But interestingly, after the initial, the names came in the first list. Later on, because Vasundhara Raje's camp was mostly against this kind of fielding of MPs, in the later on list, there wasn't any. So that was the last list having MPs as candidates in the state assembly. So, of course, there some of the MPs are in keen contest. Not that anybody is having just a walkover, barring one or two, but others are having a tough time. No, tough time.
Mr. Sebastian, you are saying that they are having a tough time. Ashok, how many people have been there? 7, 8?
7 from Lok Sabha, 7 members of parliaments from Lok Sabha and 1 from Rajya Sabha who are contesting the elections.
Okay.
Now, the situation
Can you tell me which areas they have been, let's do that micro analysis, which areas they have been pushed? Are those tribal areas? Is it in Jaipur? Is it Marwar? Is it Mewat? Which areas and why, Ashok?
Well, so first let's take the case of Rajyavardhan Singh Rathod. He's been pitted from a seat in Jaipur, which is the urban constituency seat, and traditionally has been a BJP stronghold. Now, it defies...
or is it because of the fact the toughest questions are always for Brijesh Pandey, that you had a fall of grace from Delhi Darbar? And like Shahnawaz Hussain, he has been sent to Rajasthan.
Well, I think, Shahnawaz Hussain fall from grace has been for a very long time.
And his fall from grace?
Pretty recent.
Short
till he was the information and broadcasting minister, and then he was moved to Rajasthan. But I don't see this strategy as just, they have been given ticket to contest as MLA as just fall from grace, because there are various factors at play. If you just look at it, that,
Some
what
of
is
them
being
are
done
having tough time.
is
In
only...
Mr. Tomar is also having a tough time.
No, everybody is having a tough time. Everybody is having a tough time.
Here too.
I mean, in the state of Karnataka, when the election was there, B.L. Santosh is the apple of the eye of the party, one of the most powerful leader. Now, the kind of treatment which was meted out to his entire scheme of things is legendary, and now in front of everybody. So I think it's not a question of whether you are in the circuit or you are out of the circuit. The fact is that BJP wants to win the election at any cost. The BJP wants to test the mettle of all the regional chatraps who portray themselves as like the boss of the area, and see how much effort they can command. Make them countable. See, if you are a member of parliament and you are not able to win a Vidhan Sabha seat, then it's a very stinging indictment of your claim to fame that you are the Kshatrap of at least 7 to 8 or 6 to 7 assembly constituency which falls into your area. So in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, we saw a lot of that happening out. I mean, as she was talking about, this Tijara seat. Baba Balaknath is contesting election, and and people believe that he's on a slightly sticky wicket. So it's a very smart way of making sure that once you know that you claim to be this powerful, show us how powerful you are. It's like calling the bluff, and once the bluff has been called, post this election, aspirations of a vast majority of so-called tall leaders would be crushed like never before.
Okay, let me play out one more graphic to you. This was just wider understanding how voters can fluctuate. They can exercise multiple choices, and how sentiments can also change in Indian politics quickly. Let's pull out that graphic. Let's pull out that graphic of Lok Sabha election, so that we understand that somehow things change in Lok Sabha and things change in Vidhan Sabha politics. Now, if you look at the vote share, in 2019, Bharatiya Janata Party is 60%.
But Kartik, I'm sorry for butting in.
Can I just complete? Can I just complete? Congress is at 34, BSP is at 2. So the point I'm just trying to make is that when you extrapolate elections, regional elections, assembly elections, I think you go wrong. 2003 is a classic example when Bharatiya Janata Party thought that it is reading tea leaves in October elections, and they suddenly decided to prepone it. I think everything went haywire. Yes, you wanted to say something?
See, I'm saying that, while on one hand, I agree that, you cannot compare a Lok Sabha election with a Vidhan Sabha election, but right now the situation is not 100-0. It's a very different scenario. The reason why I say so is that the Congress is literally at its nadir of its political fortune since independence.
Okay.
It has power in 3 or 4 states. And out of 5 states, it looks like it looked all set that 2 of the states will go on. If the Congress is able to win 3 assembly states, if the Congress is able to win 3 states, the buoyancy the cadres will feel, and the confidence which it will instill in the leaders is something which will have its effect in the 2024 elections.
Okay.
It is not like that no effect is going to happen in the 2024
Okay, so
elections.
Dr. Qureshi, do you think that the issues were regional in nature in Rajasthan or they were national in nature? Because the way Bharatiya Janata Party campaigned in Rajasthan, lot of national issues were pulled out. Whereas the Congress party kept it at a very regional level. Even if you look at the statement of Ashok Gehlot, you know, he's saying that Gujaratis have come and I am a Rajasthani. All those statements have come out. Do you think it's working out, one, for the Congress advantage? And second, where did the election revolve around? Regional issue or big national themes?
See, to understand again the pulse of Rajasthan, I'll go back again to 2018 polls. 2018, same time, 5 years ago, in December, BJP was voted out and Congress came to power. Just 5 months after, BJP got all 25 seats in Lok Sabha polls. So 2018, it was clear, you know, the BJP was fighting on local issues. People knew that they wanted change in government here. There was anti-incumbency towards Raje, towards BJP government, and they were voted out. But the same voters, 4 months later, they knew, despite Ashok Gehlot's government here, he had started a farm loan waiver scheme also, but it didn't help. It didn't help at all. BJP swept all 25 seats. Now, again, you're talking about this election. I'm just stating this example to tell you about the people of Rajasthan. I think they are aware voters. They know if they are voting for assembly elections, what is in the manifesto, what will they get, and they're also aware about the Lok Sabha elections. Otherwise, they would have not followed that trend we saw in 2018. Now, 2023. There are, you know, the Congress is revolving around its social security schemes. It's banking on social security schemes, whether it's Indira Rasoi Yojana, whether it's Chiranjeevi, you know, the health insurance, that's for everybody, 25 lakh health insurance, Bima you're getting. And it's huge. And they have promised in their manifesto that if Congress returns to power, it will make it 50 lakh, you know, for everybody. Then there's 7 guarantee schemes, you know, 7 guarantee schemes. There is a scheme that promises to woo youth by providing laptop for every college student. And they have also taken cue from the neighboring state.
My colleague Ashok Bagri has a question for you. I think he wants to comment.
Sorry. I'm just wanting to supplement what Tabina is saying. Is that if you look at the narrative which was peddled out by the Bharatiya Janata Party in Rajasthan and the issues that were taken to the people of the state by the Congress party, it is very clear that the Bharatiya Janata Party narrative is all about Narendra Modi. The push is on what Narendra Modi has done. In fact, let me recount an example is the fact that I'm a voter from North Ajmer, and I remember getting phone calls, and these were recorded phone calls from the candidates who were contesting elections, and all phone calls said that please vote for this candidate who is a Bharatiya Janata Party candidate, and let's strengthen the hands of Narendra Modi, who abolished Article 370 in Kashmir and also who is instrumental in building the Ram temple in Ayodhya. So this is the kind of a narrative which is being peddled by the Bharatiya Janata Party, making it into Modi versus Ashok Gehlot kind of a situation. Now it will be interesting to see whether the voters in Rajasthan get swayed by these national issues and vote for the Bharatiya Janata Party, which translates into vote for Modi.
I think you have made one point. Mr. Kasera, do you think that Ram temple is an issue? I'll come back to Dr. Qureshi. You finish your point. Dr. Qureshi, finish your point. Then I'll go to Mr. Kasera. Yeah,
Nikhil, I agree with you what you have just stated. So, I mean, it's just to see. But if you see all the advertisements, all the banners, so Modi is the poster boy. It's a clear scenario. It's Gehlot versus Modi. BJP is sticking to its divisive politics. I mean, you know, if I visited Tejara, again, where from Balaknath is contesting, and you'll be surprised to know that there I saw very little Modi, very few Modi posters and Yogi posters were huge, massive. So again, what does it state? Communal politics. It does.
Okay, Mr. Kasera, do you think that Mr. Kasera, do you think that Ram Temple still has that sort of a resonance electorally?
Definitely, it will affect the election. Actually, just my friend told that he got lots of calls, including all these Narendra Modi's agendas issues on the phone call. But this year is also happening. Even today, I will get 2 or 3 calls from candidate side, from Bhajpa side. They are mentioning especially the Ram Lalla Mandir issues. In January 2024, before the parliament election, you will get the Ram Lalla's establishment in the India and everything will be changed. Definitely this issue, especially if they are projecting Hindutva, Sanatan, these kind of issues, the voters polarization issues, if they are studying all these things and projecting these core issues among the voters, so definitely Ram Lalla issue will affect, definitely.
Temple issue will resonate in assembly elections, Brijesh?
Honestly speaking, Karthikeya, I don't think so. And the reason I'm saying is I don't think so is yes, you know, if you study or analyze BJP as a party which fights election, you know, they fight elections with all they have. And Ram Temple is one of the key cornerstone as far as the entire gamut of work which they have to present before the electorate is there. And Ram Temple is a shining example. That is the reason why, you know, they, as Ashok mentioned, they also took name of abolition of Article 370, Ram Temple and various other big schemes which Prime Minister Modi
even went to Mathura for Sant Mirabai.
Absolutely, absolutely. This was, see, that is what I'm saying. That the BJP fights with everything which they have. But it does not necessarily mean that, you know, one issue will have that kind of resonance on the ground which will alter the electoral mathematics of the state. What will be very interesting is, for the first time after a long time of what I have seen, is, you know, so many heavyweights being thrown into the local assembly elections, which usually MPs are very reluctant to fight. That will be very, very interesting point to see on December 3rd. And second is, you know, how much Prime Minister or say, you know, Home Minister Amit Shah has been able to cut Vasundhara Raje. Have they been able to cut Vasundhara Raje into size? Is perhaps, you know, for me, as a student of politics, a much bigger question than you know, what is the outcome, what the outcome is going to be.
Or is it because Bharatiya Janata Party is retiring? It's part of this strategy. A stronger center can ensure which leader works in state, which leader goes back. Even Nehru did it during Kamraj plan.
Well, I don't think, I mean, people can do, but will it succeed? No, it doesn't succeed always. You know, in the state of Gujarat, they won lock, stock, barrel, and you know, with the Aam Aadmi Party cutting into votes, they perhaps posted their most historic electoral victory in the state of Gujarat. But did it work in Karnataka? No, it did not. And the embarrassment was, you're rubbing your nose into the you know, on the ground, was that they were planning to retire Yedurappa and saying we are done away with dynasty and we won't do this thing. They were forced to make Yedurappa's son as the BJP state chief, and they had to wait for 6 months to appoint a leader of opposition. So, you know, one size doesn't fit all.
Okay, now let me come down to the brass tacks. Mr. Sebastian, where do you think that the Rajput and the tribal vote is going to go this time? Let me start counting for them. You know, has Sachin Pilot been able to consolidate the Gujarat vote? One. Secondly, do you think that the Rajput vote is behaving differently? Two. And third, do you think Marwar, Mewat, Bundi, Junjunu, they are going to behave differentially? Because if you look at the map of Rajasthan, Bharatiya Janata Party had won extremely well when it comes to southern Rajasthan. But when it comes to the Jaisalmer region, the Congress had done it. Then the line goes up, sort of a, you can say, a sort of a North Rajasthan highway. BJP does well. And in rest, it was the Congress party. Mr. Sebastian. Am I audible to you, Mr. Sebastian? Okay. Okay. Mr. Kasera, can you take that question? Mr. Kasera?
Can you repeat?
I am saying, in your opinion, how are communities behaving? Where will the Rajputs go? Where will the tribals go in Rajasthan?
Where will the Gujars go?
And where will the Gujars go?
See, there is lots of things about the caste factors in the Rajasthan in this election. Gujar is how they behaving. Earlier we have discussed in the morning debate also. Gujar is very much angry with Ashok Gehlot and Congress government because they didn't give any response to their leader Sachin Pilot to 4.5 years. And last 6 months, when they're trying to show that all are good, but the Gujar community is very angry with the Congress government. Similarly, the Rajput voters, just giving an example of Nathdwara constituency, I was there before 3 days. Bhajpa just chose the correct person for the CP Joshi's opposite, Mr. Vishwaraj Singh Mewar, who has a great legacy from Mewar and is associated with the great Maharana Pratap family. There I found all Rajput, even the tribal persons, all are associated immediately with the Vishwaraj Singh Mewar, because the other way he is projecting there, I am with you, I am the first time contesting the election, I am between with you, and with the name of Ekling Nath, because they are Diwan of Ekling Nath, the people is reacting tremendously changed against CP Joshi. Otherwise, CP
Two things I want to add here.
Okay, we are running short of time. Yes.
Yeah. Two things as far as the tribals are concerned, the tribes are concerned. Last time around, if you look at the pattern, the tribals voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party. It looks like that there's not going to be much of a change in that voting pattern. Rajputs, it will depend on seat by seat basis which way the Rajputs are going to vote, because there is a close community affinity and depends on who is contesting the election. Now, very importantly, Gujars and Meenas. Now, that constitutes the eastern Rajasthan area, where there's a large population of Gujars and Meenas. Meenas have traditionally voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Gujars last time voted for the Congress, and in fact the Congress was able to mop up around 18 to 20 seats from that region. But it looks like that the Gujar community is kind of upset with Ashok Gehlot's leadership. We don't know whether it's upset with the Congress party or not. Probably 3rd of December we'll know what's really going to happen. But another important thing, Karthikeya, I just like to point out, is that if this election goes down to the wire, as most of us are predicting, that it's not as easy as
done deal,
done kind of a deal. But if it goes down to the wire,
okay, tell me, Ashok, can it go down to the wire?
It can go down to the wire.
Brijesh, can it go down to the wire?
I think the BJP has a decisive edge. I'm not saying that it will go down to the wire.
It could go down to the wire, and if it goes down to the wire, where we have a situation of 80.
Why do you think BJP has a decisive edge?
Well, I think, what is plaguing the BJP, the ailment is slightly bigger in the Congress party. You're getting my point. And the Congress, BJP's ailment is like a newly acquired one. Could be 6 months old, 7 months old, but the Congress ailment is the last 2.5 months old. 2 years. It's cancerous. And for them to, get rid of that cancer in this 5 months of 5 days of getting your pictures clicked together and going to receive Rahul Gandhi together, I don't think that is going to.
If I have to compare a community which behaves like the Jats in Haryana, which is that community in Rajasthan, Ashok? Gujars.
Yeah.
Like the Reddys in Andhra.
They align themselves completely with Sachin, and they what happened to Sachin was also projected as
Mr. Sebastian, do you think that the Gujars are going to stand with Sachin Pilot? Point blank question.
Yeah.
सीधा जवाब दीजिएगा, घुमाइएगा मत. गुजर रहेगा?
They are with Sachin Pilot.
अच्छा, Sachin Pilot. Dr. Qureshi, नहीं, हाँ या ना में रहेगा नहीं रहेगा? रहेगा? हैं? क्या? What did you say?
Whether they would vote for the Congress is a different thing, but they are with
that is what I said.
Okay, ठीक है, okay, ठीक है, to the point. Dr. Qureshi, रहेगा या नहीं रहेगा?
Gujars have been vote bank of BJP. It was only for the first time in 2018 that BJP had no Gujar.
My question is I'm falling short of time. Do you think it's going to vote for Congress party this time?
It will be a 50-50. I don't think so. They will
Kasera ji,
enjoy this.
What's your take?
From my side, no. Congress will definitely, yes.
He'll go back. जहाँ से आया था वहीं चले जाएंगे.
BJP के पास है.
They will support to BJP this year.
Why? You only have 30 seconds. Why? क्यों वापस जाएगा? Why will it go back?
Because they are very angry with the Congress government. because of Sachin Pilot. But Sachin Pilot is still stable. He's not saying to his community to support the Congress and Ashok Gehlot. Even not a single.
पते की बात प्रोग्राम के एंड में बोली, ये पते की बात प्रोग्राम के एंड में आई. So one of our commentators is saying that Sachin Pilot has not sent enough signals that the Gurjars vote for the Congress party. Well, anyway, jury is out. Who knows how people vote. Rajasthan has voted. We'll only come to know on 3rd. But on this note, I would like to close this program and thank all my guests in the studio and those who had joined me from outside. But don't go away. I'm leaving you with the bites and the color and the shades of the Rajasthan election. Let's play them for our viewers.
जो भी व्यक्ति मेरी आवाज सुन रहा है, सब लोगों से अपील करूंगा, पार्टीबाजी से ऊपर उठिए, कैंडिडेट को देखिए, काम को देखिए. काम और राम कांग्रेस की सरकार के साथ है. राजस्थान एकमात्र स्टेट है जहां 50 लाख तक का इलाज फ्री है. दुनिया में मॉडल है मेडिकल का, दुनिया में मॉडल है रोजगार का. सच्चाई और ईमानदारी के साथ कांग्रेस और बीजेपी से ऊपर उठकर काम के आधार पर वोट करना चाहिए. जिसको आप पकड़ सकते हैं, जिसके साथ खड़े होकर आप अपनी आवाज को बुलंद कर सकते हैं, आप जिसको जानते हैं, पहचानते हैं, जिसका घर जानते हैं, जिसको फोन करने से उसका फोन उठता हो, ऐसे लोगों को मत चुनिए जो ये कहते हैं हमारे निशान को वोट दो, हमारे नेता को देखो. हम ये कह रहे हैं, मैं खुद ये कह रहा हूं कि प्रताप सिंह खाचरियावास को देखो, प्रताप सिंह खाचरियावास के काम को देखो और फिर वोट करो. मेरे वोट की जिम्मेदारी मेरी है. मैं मरकर भी मेरे वोट के धर्म को निभाऊंगा, क्योंकि मैं कछावा वंश का क्षत्रिय भगवान राम का वंशज हूँ. कि रघुकुल रीत सदा चली आई, प्राण जाए पर वचन न जाई. वचन मेरी ताकत है, वचन मेरा विश्वास है, वचन मेरा संकल्प है. और वचन के दम पर मैं कांग्रेस की सरकार से भी लड़ूंगा, बीजेपी की सरकार से भी लड़ूंगा, लेकिन वोटर के सम्मान को निभाऊंगा.
हमारा मत राज्य की निर्णायक सरकार को चुनता है और इसीलिए सरकार चुनने में मतदाताओं की भूमिका महत्वपूर्ण रहती है. मुझे लगता है कि भारत के लोकतंत्र ने ये इतिहास हमेशा दोहराया है कि हम मतपत्रों के आधार पर देश के अंदर अपने मन के विचारों की अभिव्यक्ति करते हैं. मतदाता विचारों के साथ विचारधारा की अभिव्यक्ति भी करता है और शासन सुशासन कैसा हो उसकी अभिव्यक्ति भी मतदाता करता है.
बिना सब चुनाव दर चुनाव भारतीय लोकतंत्र परिपक्व होता जा रहा है.
निश्चित रूप से 1952 से अभी तक की चुनाव को हम देखें तो हर बार प्रतिशत मतदान का बढ़ना, इससे लोकतंत्र सशक्त हुआ है. मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि भारत के लोकतंत्र में 17 आम चुनाव, 300 से ज़्यादा विधानसभा चुनाव में मतों का प्रतिशत बढ़ना भारत में लोकतंत्र का सशक्त होना है. और आज दुनिया में हमें गर्व है कि 1952 से अभी तक भारत का लोकतंत्र और सशक्त हुआ, मजबूत हुआ है. और जिस तरीके से निर्वाचन आयोग ने पारदर्शी का तरीके से जवाबदेही से इतने बड़े मतदान को कराना और निष्पक्ष मतदान करना, इसके लिए भारत के निर्वाचन आयोग को भी शुभकामनाएं देता हूं, बधाई देता हूं.
ये अपनी सरकार चुनने का अधिकार लाखों बलिदानों के बाद हासिल स्वतंत्रता और लोकतंत्र के द्वारा मिला है. 5 साल के लिए हम अपने क्षेत्र का, अपने राज्य का, अपने देश का भविष्य चुनने के लिए और 5 वर्ष पूर्व जो मतदान हमने किया था, उस मतदान के चलते जिस तरह की परिस्थितियां और हालात बनी, इन दोनों का आकलन कर हमें मतदान करना चाहिए. अधिकतम मतदान हो और हम 100% मतदान के स्तर तक पहुंचे, ये लोकतंत्र की परिपक्वता और लोकतंत्र की पवित्रता, शुचिता दोनों को का परिचायक है. पिछले आजादी के बाद में पहली बार हुए चुनाव में 35% मतदान से अब 70% से ज्यादा मतदान होने लगा है. लेकिन अभी भी मेरा आग्रह और अनुरोध यही रहेगा कि हम और अधिक इस मतदान प्रतिशत को बढ़ाएं. सरकार के स्तर पर भी इस पर प्रयास हो रहे हैं, लेकिन सभी पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां भी इस स्तर तक प्रयास करती है. मैं सब मीडिया के बंधुओं से भी कहूंगा, क्योंकि मतदान प्रक्रिया अभी प्रारंभ हुई है, लगभग 2 घंटे होने को है, आप सब चैनल्स के माध्यम से भी ये संदेश लोगों तक जाए, ये प्रेरित लोगों को हम सब मिलकर के कर सकें कि अधिकतम मतदान हो.
बड़ी संख्या में महिलाएं देखो मतदान का प्रयोग करने के लिए आ गई
और ये जो मताधिकार का जो अधिकार दिया बाबा साहब ने, वो मुझे हर मतदान दिवस में बाबा साहब याद आता है। बड़ा बहस के बाद उन्होंने कहा सबको आप मताधिकार का प्रयोग दो। क्यों अपन इंग्लैंड और यूएस का उदाहरण देते हैं कि महिलाओं को संघर्ष करना पड़ा यूके में, 110 साल बाद यूके में मताधिकार मिला और यूएस में भी लेट मिला। हम जब अब आजाद हो गए और हमारे जस्ट बाद बहुत से देश एशिया और अफ्रीका के आजाद होने वाले हैं, तो भारत को कुछ नवाचार करना चाहिए, भारत को कोई दिशा दिखानी चाहिए। तो जो बहस का रुख उन्होंने मोड़ा संविधान सभा में, और फिर संविधान सभा के सभी सदस्य सहमत हुए कि अडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज को हमें तुरंत स्वीकार करना चाहिए।
का पर्व है और निश्चित रूप से आज राजस्थान में भ्रष्टाचार की मुक्ति के लिए, राजस्थान में बढ़ते अपराधों की मुक्ति के लिए, राजस्थान में बढ़ते जो बलात्कार की घटना है उसकी मुक्ति के लिए और तुष्टीकरण से मुक्ति के लिए हमने यहाँ पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में ऐसा मतदान किया है कि भविष्य में यहाँ पर कांग्रेस की सरकार कभी नहीं आएगी, क्योंकि राजस्थान की जनता ने जो पिछले 5 साल के अंदर झेला है, ऐसा मुझे नहीं लगता कि पहले कभी हुआ। इसलिए राजस्थान के अंदर पूरे राजस्थान में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में निश्चित रूप से मतदान हो रहा है और 150 से अधिक भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सीटें आ रही है। तो निश्चित रूप से आज यहाँ पर मैं देख रहा हूँ कि लोगों के अंदर उत्साह भी है और प्रचंड बहुमत के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी ऐसा है कि हमारा दायित्व है, लोकतंत्र हमारे लिए बहुत जरूरी है और ये महापर्व है। और इस अवसर पर मैं तो यही कहना चाहता हूँ कि हमारे लोकतंत्र को सुरक्षित रखना और लोकतंत्र को एक स्वच्छ राजनीति से युक्त रखना, ये हम सबका दायित्व है। और आज बहुत ही खुशी है कि मैंने सबसे पहले आकर यहाँ पर मतदान किया है और हर व्यक्ति आज जागरूक होता जा रहा है। तो मैं बहुत ही खुश हूँ और नरेंद्र मोदी जी का नेतृत्व है और निश्चित रूप से आज पूरे देश के अंदर भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सभी जगह लगभग सरकारें हैं और नरेंद्र मोदी जी के प्रति लोगों की जो आस्था है, विश्वास है, आज देश आगे बढ़ रहा है, भारत का सम्मान पूरे विश्व में हो रहा है। तो इसलिए आज जनता की भी ये अपेक्षा है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में देश आगे बढ़े। तो इसलिए सभी आज इस महापर्व के अंदर भाग ले रहे हैं।
GPT. It can generate codes and human-like responses through text, write stories, and do a lot more.
I work in a newsroom with anchors, researchers and scriptwriters, graphic artists, producers, video editors, camera crew. But does a newsroom really need them today? All of us have to think about unique and distinctive value addition that cannot be automated or repeated or replaced by a machine.
ChatGPT may kill many companies.
A human has to be in the loop with an ability to control this.
Dark Side of the Boom. Streaming now.